Welcome back to the Integrated Leader Podcast. I'm Lauren Marie, and this week we're diving into a powerful theme, leading with intention, thriving in high-stakes seasons. Too often, leaders accept stress and chaos as the price of success. But the best leaders don't just push through busy seasons, they redefine how work gets done. They create clarity in the middle of pressure, set the tone for their teams, and lead with intention instead of reaction. Yesterday, we talked about the myth of busy season and how high-performing teams use both offense, deep work, and defense, reactive work, to stay ahead, rather than constantly scrambling. Today, we're tackling the concept even further. How do you stay responsive without losing focus? Because it is a big tension. We've all been there. You start your day with a plan, but then the emails start rolling in. Slack messages demand attention, a last-minute request from a client throws off your schedule, and before you know it, your day is gone and your most important work hasn't even started. Here's the reality. If you don't control how you work, other people will control it for you. Leaders who let external requests dictate their day end up constantly reacting instead of executing. But that doesn't mean we ignore people or stop being responsive. It just means we need a strategy. Many leaders feel pressured to always be available. They believe that if they don't answer right away, they'll slow things down or seem unhelpful. But research from Harvard Business Review shows that high-performing teams balance responsiveness with structured focus time, and they actually get more done without working longer hours. Here are 3 strategies to balance responsiveness and focus. 1, set clear boundaries. Instead of feeling like every request is urgent, train yourself and your team to acknowledge quickly, but respond intentionally. For example, instead of dropping everything, try saying, "I see this request. I'll have an update for you by said specific time." This keeps people informed without pulling you away from your deep work. 2, block out deep work times. Cal Newport's research shows that even 90 minutes of uninterrupted deep work per day can double productivity. I just want you to think about that for a second. 90 minutes of uninterrupted deep work can double productivity. Pick a specific time in your day where you turn off notifications and focus fully on meaningful work. Teach your team that unless something is truly urgent, you will check in at set times, not every 5 minutes. And 3, teach your team to differentiate between urgent and important. Many leaders feel overwhelmed because they're responding to urgent but low-value tasks. Train your team to ask, does this need immediate response? Or can it wait until our next check-in? Or is this truly a priority or just someone else's request? Dwight Eisenhower's famous time management matrix separates work into 4 categories: urgent and important. This means immediate action is needed. These require fast decisions. Then we have important but not urgent. This would be strategic work. These need deep focus time, where we put in our offensive time block. We have urgent but not important. These are interruptions. These should be minimized or delegated, and this is a defensive play. And then neither urgent nor important. And these are distractions. These would be ideally eliminated. So here's your challenge for today. Take control of how you spend your time. Block out one 90-minute deep work session tomorrow, where you turn off notifications and focus on meaningful work. 2, identify one boundary you need to set, whether it's communicating response times, limiting interruptions, or scheduling check-ins instead of being constantly available. And 3, pay attention to how much of your day is spent on offense versus defense. Are you running your schedule, or is it running you? High-performing leaders don't just react all day. They create space for both responsiveness and focused execution. If you can master the balance, you'll work smarter, lead better, and avoid the burnout cycle. That's it for today's episode of the Integrated Leader Podcast. Tomorrow, we're diving into one of the bigger shifts in leadership, moving from reactive firefighting to proactive planning. If you've ever felt like your job is just putting out fires, don't miss this episode. We will talk about how to anticipate challenges, prevent chaos before it starts, and build systems that help your team stay ahead instead of playing catch up. If today's episode was helpful, please share it with a fellow leader who needs to hear it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Integrated Leader Podcast.